Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I am for people doing freedom, liberty to do whatever they want without hurting other people. There's some limits. I like freedom, liberty for everyone in whatever they do without hurting other people, and if that is consensual, obviously. So if someone wants to be hurt in a certain way, like you go and fight in a cage and you hurt yourself obviously by doing that, I think that's the right of an adult to do whatever the adult wants to do with his or her life, personal self. Otherwise, you're not sovereign over your body. My body, my choice. The same thing is true for people who engage in certain sexual acts. As adults, consensual, no limits. Guys, do whatever you want. I'm for it. That's why I said consenting adults. That's all. But I don't like to be pushed or, how do you call it, mandated to like what you do, as I don't want to impose that on you if I do something. You don't need to like it. But if you fight against me doing what I'm doing without hurting anybody, that means you're my enemy. The same thing here. If I fight in, I don't know, you like to make love with, I don't know, let's say this. I don't care. I'm not going to fight you. Do it how much you want. I'm not going to fight you or your right against your right to do it. You do it. You have sex and do whatever you want, however you want, whenever you want. Okay? But the same thing I ask of you. So what's going on here? We have certain countries, we have certain families, and each family, each country has its own culture and traditions. And each country, each society dictates its own rules. Not the neighbor dictates your rules because the neighbor thinks he's better. We agree with that. Otherwise, I can come in your life and say, you can't make love with this because I think that's stupid, and I think I will stop you from doing that. Okay, understand? Now, this might get hurt when you make love, but that's your thing over there, guys. Your thing over there. And besides, this is not a consensual adult, just so you know. So what's going on? A few days ago, which is, to be more precise, on the 30th of December 2023, I made this video where the Burundi's president, African president, but I didn't mention Burundi, calls for public execution of these guys and to stone them on stadiums. Personally, that's awful, and I disagree with that. I disagree with that, obviously. I oppose that, and that's it. That's their country. They do whatever they want over there. Should I send my children to change the African president? No, I wouldn't. That's not my job, because I'm pretty sure the African president would not doesn't like certain practices in our culture here. And if I have the right to go and say that based on his values or lack of, how we want to look at them, he has the same rights to come and change our current culture. Therefore, but some countries are under the impression that they can and they should go and tell other people how to live in other countries. As I said, I don't support what he said over there whatsoever, but that's not my business. That's his country, not his, their country. That's their society, their values. I don't want them to come over here and tell me how to live my life, because my values are not their values, or my traditions are not his traditions. Unfortunately, we have here a few guys who want to change our traditions. But today's article has to do with Burundi's president, and not necessarily with the Burundi president, but with this country, which is not this country because it's not you and I. Some people in this country expressing concern with Burundi's president, which I express concern, but again, it's not my business to do anything about it. That's those guys' solution, problem, whatever. Reuters. U.S. expresses concern after Burundi president says gay people should be stoned. Wrong. But U.S. expresses concern. All right, well, let's see. The United States said on Friday it was troubled by comments from Burundian President Papapap, who last week called on citizens of the small African country to stone gay people. My question is this. I want to read down here, and why don't I see anybody else being concerned? Look, that's the article right here. Why is no other country concerned with that? Let's say Bangladesh. Let's say Iran. Let's say Russia. Let's say France. Why only one country has the right to be concerned? Do you know why? Because this, for me, gets the dynamics of these energies on this planet to a different level. It seems like only the United States is the country allowed to point violations of different rights in other countries. I don't hear, I don't know, Romania doing that, Bulgaria doing that, and there are countries equal to the United States of America. Only one country. Is it because they are the only ones allowed to go and destroy that country based on their claim and their concern? I start thinking that's the reason. They are the only ones who are allowed to be concerned, so they can come and beat you up and get your wife and your car and whatever you got. If your wife looks good. Just kidding. That was a joke, YouTube. That was a joke, okay? So here is the problem. I made another article on the 22nd of, I think it was November 2022. So more than a year ago. I made a video on Burundi, and you might guess what that has to do with the United States of America. Here it is. I found this one because I was looking for, I know I made some videos on Burundi. And this is, Burundi wants to turn nuclear. Russia will help. Agreements signed. Do you think there's any connection between Russia having Burundi on its side, United States losing power in Africa and Burundi, and they are the only ones concerned about Burundi? Is it crazy? I don't think it's crazy whatsoever. Why? They did it before. They were concerned, and then in violation, and then they regime change. Because we didn't like it. Not we. They didn't like it. And here, it's Burundi. There were some other presidents who made similar claims, but I don't know that they are becoming friends with Putin. And I think that's the big problem. If Burundi would be in US's sphere of influence and would be a yes sir, these guys would close their eyes. Why? Saudi Arabia. When was the last time when these guys are mentioning this fact? But they always mention it. Always mention it that in Saudi Arabia the gays are thrown off the buildings. Is that something I heard so many times in America? Now, if that's true, I know that Saudi Arabia was and still is kind of one of our allies. We had troops over there. We have nuclear. We have military bases over there. We support Saudi Arabia until Mr. BS came in power. Mohammed bin Salman. MBS, I call him Mr. BS. So then he started playing hard. Why? Because Biden said he's a garbage, he's a pariah, and so on. So he fucked up. But they didn't say anything about that. These guys are killing these people, try to see if they fly. No, zip it. So you see, if you do what Al Capone wants you to do, he's going to close an eye here and there, whatever perversion you do. But Burundi, no, because Burundi jumped the fence on the other side. And that's a no-no. We are very concerned. No other country in that article was mentioned because they didn't have to. Because that's America's boy to not France's, Germany. Or these guys are the leaders in pushing a certain kind of ideology on other countries. Remember, we're told here that all cultures are equal. All right, my friends, that's called what? Cultural relativism? No, they're not equal. Oh, you are, oh my God, I mean, you're so bad. Well, I can't say that a person who composes, I don't know, a opera is the same as a guy who composed a rap. I don't think so. I think it's a difference in understanding. I mean, you might not like it. Well, I urge you to play or to compose one of versus, I don't know, Beethoven, Mozart, and Korsakov or Tchaikovsky or many others. And try some piano. Try some obviously. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that here at this point. But the difference is, or look at a building like architecture. Let's go and see a Gothic church versus a no church, or whatever you want to call it, a house of worship. And other. So there's a difference in sophistication. There is. You don't like it, it is, but that's the way it is. Here is, my friends. That's why Burundi now becomes bad all of a sudden, because of the Russians, and because these guys determined they don't like what those guys are doing, which I don't like either. I don't like. I don't like it. But I wouldn't send my kids over there to get in their house and fix whatever these guys tell me that I should fix, like in Iraq, bring freedom and democracy. And now the Iraqis want the Americans out. Isn't that strange? Probably they reverted somehow back to no freedom and no democracy. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.